guys. Yeah, it's late. Don't expect anything glammed up. I'm actually ready for bed right now. But I just wanted to come in and talk about what I've been doing to channel anger. I talk with a lot of people during my day, and I deal with a lot of people going through a lot of different situations, and I dealing with a friend right now who has a boyfriend with PTSD who gets drunk and swings on her often. Usually he's too drunk to actually land a blow. Usually it's just throwing stuff, punching walls. And I know women aren't the only ones that suffer from this. I know guys deal with physical abuse sometimes, or verbal abuse and stuff like that too. But situation is basically with females, and I noticed it mostly females come to me with these kind of situations where they have someone who they're scared of all the time. Like, these men, I don't know what it is that causes them to, when they're scared or wounded and they feel the need to, the only way they can feel like a big, powerful man again is to be intimidating and insulting and punching walls and being scary. And it's like, if they could scare this woman who's smaller than them, that they know they can take on, somehow that makes them this big man again. And, I don't know what they think's going to happen. I don't know if they think their girlfriends are going to like them more from this. I have no idea. But anyway, it's a huge, it's a hard thing for me, because I've dealt with levels of abuse like that before in my life, and my answer was to get away. I mean, I'm not going to lie. One relationship took me 10 years to get out of, but it wasn't that bad till the very end, and once it hit the point of physical, I was done, and I left. So it's very hard for me when I'm dealing with a friend that I know is much smaller than their significant other, and that they're going through this. All that, like, shield maiden type energy, like, I just want to, like, strangle these guys, like, because it's just not how I roll. You put your hands on me, you can expect hands back. Oh, you might beat my ass, but I'm taking you down with me. That's pretty much how I roll. My father taught me that, if someone's going to beat your ass, pick up something to even the odds. So, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I got riled up over this for a little bit, and I even, a Reiki friend of mine asked if she could send me some Reiki healing, and immediately, as soon as she connected, she was like, "Oh my God, you gave me a massive hot flash." So, what I do, and now I know I've mentioned in other videos that in the mornings I like to walk, and I try to broadcast as much positive energy as possible to any cords that are attached to me, just to keep the energy light and to start the day with a really light energy, really upbeat, positive energy. So I've taken this same practice, and what I do is I go outside to my yard, and I have a tree, and I've already set it up as a sacred space, so I don't have to do it every time. It's within the circle of my house, which I have all kinds of setups around. So my house and my home is my sacred space, and these trees are within my sacred space. So I go outside and I stand barefoot on the root of the tree, and I listen to music, and I do a very similar process where I can just kind of channel that back out. I just let it all go, and yeah, I pretty much stand on the roots of a tree, and I don't sing out loud because I do have neighbors. So, but I do kind of lip sync and dance around a little bit while I'm doing this. And I find that it really lightens the energy. And I think it's important that if you're going to do practices like this where you're channeling with it, you got to be careful what kind of music and stuff like that you listen to. You want to try to keep it a little upbeat. Unless you're mad, and then just listen to a mad song, but try to finish it out with upbeat energy, so that way, when it's all said and done, the energy's upbeat. And sure enough, when I was done doing this, I got a message from my friend who was also feeling better by this point, and she just discovered she's an alien, so she's doing all kinds of codes and stuff like that right now, so she just kind of shifted her focus into that. Did it fix her problem with her significant other? No. I can't fix that for her. It's especially hard for this friend because when we were teenagers, she was in an abusive relationship, and I actually walked away from her at one point. I was like, I'm here if you need me, but I can't watch this going on. So I'm trying to be a little bit more compassionate with it this time, but it doesn't make it easy to know. It doesn't make it easy to watch. You know, to know your friend is in danger and stuff like that, but you can't carry it around, this kind of stuff. If you're gonna work on helping people and talking to people, you can't carry their burdens for them. And also, if you worry too much, you could actually start manifesting the energy too. So when you have someone who's constantly talking in a cycle of the same thing over and over again, and I know I get stuck in this a lot, I'll find myself stuck in a pattern where I'm complaining about the same thing, about the same people over and over and over and over again for, you could find yourself doing this for weeks and years. I mean, there's some families that never stop this cycle. So, you know, me and Amaris and Tarja, we do all these rituals and stuff like that. When we notice that we're into these cycles, we'll do, you know, meditation and a cleansing of the house and stuff like that. And then we each have our own little separate ways of handling how to put down carrying those negative energies. Because if you don't take time to let them go, then you're just going to carry them around everywhere you go. And you're going to be snappy and stuff like that. So yeah, and as for the guys that feel the need to insult and belittle, or even the women, if you have someone in your life that you supposedly love and you want to be with, and they're supposed to be the person you want to spend your life with, and you don't want them to leave you, treating them like garbage is not the way to get them to stay with you. Not giving them space, obsessing with them, forcing them to, you know, not be able to go see anybody or do anything. Like, the more you try to control your partner, the more you're sabotaging your own relationship, and the more you look like a spaz and a fool, and you look horrible. And I know you think nobody else knows what it is you're doing. Everybody knows. We're not stupid. People just don't say anything because it's not our business to say anything. It's something that's transformational for the person you're doing it to. For whatever reason, they've chosen that relationship to learn whatever it is they need to learn from it. And it's not our place to tell them when they've learned it and it's time to go. You know, these guys, the reckoning does come for you. Sooner or later, you can't keep projecting your demons onto other people. Those demons are going to come for you. And if you're someone like me that wants to, or would like to still be in a place where we can go and rescue people from these situations, you can't. You can't. Because if you show up and you get into a fight with these people's boyfriends or girlfriends that are doing this stuff, you generally just end up making it worse. The person ends up coming with you for a little bit, and then they leave and go back to this person, and then you're the bad guy and you're on the outs. So it's really much better to keep a safe distance, and just be there for your friends. You can be there for people without taking it on. You know, when a doctor cures a disease, he doesn't have to catch the disease in order to help the person. So if you're going to be in a position where you do tarot readings and people come to you and they tell you their demons and what they're facing in their lives, you have to be prepared to not internalize that. You can't internalize everybody else's problems, because that will tear you apart in the end. So, yeah, that's my late night thought. That's what I've been dealing with today. I deal with it most days. Most days. And I won't even lie. Like, relationships are number one reason that people come to tarot, usually. Some people come for more of a spiritual guidance, but most people are in a relationship and they want to know what's going on in the relationship. And all the cards are going to tell you usually is what you already need to know, and is if you're in an abusive relationship, get out. Get out. You're going to find excuses to stay, or you're going to look for reasons to leave. You're going to find solutions to get out. And you're going to find whatever it is you focus on. If you focus on excuses to stay, that's all you're going to see is excuses to stay. I can't leave. That's always the number one thing. Everybody has a reason they can't get out of these horrible relationships. There's no reason. There's no reason. I mean, if you have kids, that's not a reason to stay in that kind of relationship. Staying in a bad relationship for your kids is absolutely horrible for your kids. It does worse for your kids in the end. If you don't have money, I mean, you would be surprised what you could live without for a while. Live in your car. I know that sounds so horrible, right? Thousands of people do it every day. They just get out, they stay in their car. I mean, you've got places that you can take a shower for $5 if you got a, job that you need to keep and everything else. There's ways you can do it. There's ways to survive. It is not that hard to survive on this planet. I know people try to make you think it is. It's not. Food literally grows out of the ground everywhere. Nobody tells you where it is because they don't want you to know that it's easy to survive on this planet. It is. Medicine grows everywhere on this planet. The mimosa tea. I don't have anything added in mine tonight, but yes, we were drinking mimosa tea. I do make it. I make a mimosa bamamba mix, and it's for helping with blood sugar and anxiety. So, and it grows wild all over, especially down here because everybody brought it over from the Orient. So, it's not that hard to survive on this planet. Is putting yourself in the situation to get out of a horrible relationship that you're in, would it really be that much worse to live in a hotel room for a couple of weeks? Would your life be worse if you actually got out? Sure, it would be hard, but at least you wouldn't have this horrible person doing horrible things to you all the time. Alright? And for those of you trying to say these same exact things to those poor souls that, for whatever reason, refuse to transform and get out of these relationships, don't carry it with you, because it will only feed it more. Because if you're feeding it all your angry energy, it just keeps it having this life of its own. You have to be able to detach yourself. You have to be able to do cord cuttings and whatever, And be careful. Don't cast negative energy. I know a lot of witches do this. Do not cast negative energy on your friends' partners because you don't like what they're doing. Because all you do is you're giving them more negative energy. These are already super negative people, so when you send them negative energy, it just makes it worse. Like, I had a woman who lived with her mother, and her mother was absolutely horrendous to her children. But she was like, I have no place to go. She bought this house for us all to live in, and now it's a nightmare, and she's mean to my kids, and blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing I know, she's, like, doing weird stuff like shitting in jars and casting all these, like, kill-a-bitch spells she's buying off online on her mother. Well, her mother lost her freaking mind, went completely batshit crazy, tore apart the freaking house, and kicked them out. You just feed it when you get into those kind of energy fights. And not only that, when you're manifesting negative energy, you become a channel for negative energy. You're going to get negative energy residue on you. So the only time that I'm really dealing with negative energy, and the only way that I really do anything for it, is if I feel negative energy coming at me, I'll do a return to sender. And now return to senders are not specifically done, they're not amplified. You know, some people do, you know, return it to them 3 times 3 or da 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 da, which is fine. You can do the 3 times 3 because it feels like that when they get it back to them anyway, because usually these people are massive victims of everything wrong in their lives, even though they've been manifesting negative energy their whole lives. So it's going to be threefold for them regardless. But yeah, just send back any negative energy sent at you without absorbing it. And, yeah, don't absorb it, send it back. And for your friends, you can let them come and vent, but if them coming and venting to you leaves you in a place that you can't handle the energy that they're dropping on you, there's nothing wrong with saying, I am here whenever you need a hand. If you're ready to leave, I am here for you, but I cannot watch you do this anymore to yourself, because in the end they can sit there and say it's their partner's fault all they want. It's their fault that they say. They're doing it to themselves, and you can't stop somebody from doing something to themselves. You can't stop them. They're gonna do it. You know, people deal with this with drug addicts and stuff like that all the time. Unless they want to be fixed and they want help, you can't help them. Alright? Anyway, that's my message for tonight, guys. I'll talk to you later.